If you're a mom who is anywhere in the 32 to 52 range, it is possible you are somewhere in perimenopause, and it can last for a decade. I mean, it can last a long time. Everyone goes through it at a different kind of way and pace and time in their lives. I had no idea this was happening in my body. I just knew I started feeling tired. And I felt like a natural kind of internal slowing down. And I think that's the thing that I've heard a lot of women say, that especially if you don't know, like if you're not in tune with your body very much, then you might just start to feel increasingly frustrated and irritable. So we're going to talk about what does not work, what most people think is the way to kind of handle this phase of life and continue to succeed and perform and take care of all the things. And then what actually is a method and a path that's beautiful and has incredible results that I'm going to share with you about. So come on in, join me today, and let's just go ahead and dive in. I'll also share with you a special treat. I've got a live masterclass that I am decided to do at the very last minute for tomorrow, and you guys can have the Zoom link here. I will drop it under this video for you, and it's going to be all about how to embody calm for more joy and more fun during school holidays this summer, when kids are out and routines are off or changed, and structure is off. Then I'm going to tell you what to do, give you a full plan on that. So join tomorrow for the masterclass, and let's dive into this one. So we are launching into summer school holidays. As many of you know, you're already in it, in full swing, or you're headed into it. And that means a change in routine or in structure. Sometimes it means a total lack of structure. If you're like me and you have underscheduled your kids because you are kind of old school and you like for them to learn how to be bored and deal with boredom, but you kind of know it creates a lot of chaos at the same time, then you need this. If you are someone who is an overschedule, you like to have everything dialed in, the type A approach to life and motherhood, and you've got your kids totally booked out, that's great, but that means a lot of transitions and also kids having a lot of feelings about all of that. So either way, you will be encountering more unpredictability this summer. You'll be encountering more kids, complaining about being bored or not wanting to do the things that you've scheduled for them. You will be having them ask more of you, because unstructured time from school means their brains kind of need something to chew on, and they may, if they're younger, constantly want more attention. If they are older, they might want you to run them more places. And do more things for them, or give them more things, or they may be isolating more and you're worried about them for doing that. If you have teenagers on devices more, all these things can be quite stressful and problematic. So last week we talked about when you're in perimenopause and you have kids who are in adolescence, so like tweens up until through teenage years. For us, it's a time where physically the body is wanting to kind of slow down and shift into a different pace. But you may not want that to happen. You might be peaking in your career. You might have a lot of kids at home that you're juggling a lot of different schedules with, plus your work. And it just may not be a time in your life where you are able to slow down very much. I know that I went through that. That happened for me too. And there are also elevated emotions. So physically slowing down, more emotions happening, wanting, needing to come through and come out. If you don't have a system for handling those unprocessed emotions, and most people do not, unless you've come to work with me and graduated one of my programs, most people don't know what to do with that. What happens is it just goes underground into the body, and it can create problems. It can create increased stress, pressure, tension. You might want to numb out or dissociate. You might want to eat a bunch of ice cream. You might be zoning out with Netflix to kind of decompress or de-stress, but you notice it never really goes away. So anxiety builds. Sometimes it's physical in the body. It's more like chronic pain or achy or just energy dragging. It can also manifest in relationship when you don't know how to redress and metabolize those emotions. You don't have a system for processing that. It can create stress in marriage or with kids and create conflict ultimately. So tension in your relationships. Here's what happens when you have elevated emotions and you're not handling them, and you have this kind of physical, like slowing down naturally. Your body's wanting to go that way, but you're not doing it. What's happening is survival kicks in. Survival patterns kick in. And what are survival patterns? It's that feeling of I'm treading water. I'm barely staying on top of things. It's that feeling of I can't think beyond this moment. I'm like barely surviving this, and tomorrow we'll worry about tomorrow. But your brain just doesn't slow down. It's so overactive. There's a lot of overthinking happening. Maybe drawing a blank. What's it called? When you what's it called, you guys? It's a psychological term. I'm flaking on it about overthinking. When you can't slow your mind down. The therapists listening probably know exactly what I'm talking about. Fight or flight mode happens when it doesn't need to happen, right? This is when we snap and overreact to our kids over the stupid little stuff. You spill something and you just go ballistic. You break something and it's like, I can't even, because you don't have that extra bandwidth. You're just operating on this very tiny little bit of bandwidth. Do you know what I'm talking about? Does it happen to you? Do you know what I mean? It's just this, like, if one more thing happens, I will snap. Like you're just wound so tight. That's what I'm talking about. That's the state that people get in, and they think it'll just be for a minute. I'll get out of it. 5 years goes by and 10 years go by, and what happens is we get stuck in survival mode and fight or flight mode. We get stuck. And without the skills to shift out of it, we just continue to ramp up the adrenaline and the cortisol, and we just keep pushing and pushing. And all the while, our kids who we want to be close to are witnessing all of this stress, and they're also feeling all of this stress, and they're also learning these stress patterns. Okay. So what we've got here is the perfect storm. The perfect storm for tension, conflict, disconnect, stress, being totally stressed out, kids being stressed out, and kids being in survival mode then. And this creates, we feel more irritable. In the mood, it creates kind of toxicity like anger, irritable, frustrated, then bickering, the whole ripple effect of that, arguing, conflict, all that stuff. Okay. So if this is the soup that you're in and you have been feeling like I'm kind of getting stuck in this, what happens there is that we do this psychologically. We kind of start to create stories. We create stories and we tell ourselves stories, and then we get stuck in those stories, and the stories are like, my God, it's never gonna get easy. Life just keeps happening to me. Why do these things keep happening? Why are people so shitty to me? Why am I so shitty to them? Why can't I kind of snap out of this bad attitude? I feel like garbage. We just, my kid is so disrespectful. Nobody helps around here. No one cares about me, and no one is listening to me. And I hear this all the time on calls. No one cares what I ask them to do. No one is even listening to me. My kids don't listen at all. Not good listeners. Okay. So these stories, you guys, take on momentum. And then they lead to exhaustion. So what is it? Being tired day in, day out? What happens if you just keep going like that and then you stay tired? Exhaustion. You kind of flatten out. you you become sort of either like mad that it's like this and you don't know how to change it, or if you keep going and you just kind of sink lower than that, it can feel like hopelessness. It can feel like hopelessness. And then it's harder to take action from that place. You still can, but it's harder. It takes more energy and you have less energy. So usually that calls for kind of desperate times or crisis to kickstart you into creating the change. But you still can, but it's harder from there. We in the middle of the workshop, we had a session that was everybody's favorite. That's called Boundaries, Burnout, and Emotional Whiplash. And I talked about how people think that the way out of that pattern and out of that stuckness is to kind of just keep pushing through, maintain, it will change, I'll get a break, kids will grow out of this phase. Just kind of hold my breath. And you know, that kind of thinking creates so much more exhaustion. It doesn't get you out of these patterns. And what's really going on, and I was explaining this in this session, what's really going on is that as moms in motherhood, we are operating by a system of invisible rules. And the invisible rules that we live by, we obviously don't see. They're invisible. We don't question them. We just get mad that it's not working for us. And where do they come from? Where do these invisible rules come from? And what are they? Well, they get handed down from our parents and what we saw. And then they kind of, we think that they're ours, and we think that they're like rules of life. We think that they're like just how things work. And you can tell that you have them by times when you say out loud or when you think to yourself, like, I just have to. This is just the way it is. It's just how people are. Those are invisible rules. Well, you know, kids are just like, teenagers are just really hard. You know, they just don't care. They're so consumed with themselves. They're so selfish. That's just the way it is. Invisible rules. Those might be about your kids. What kinds of ones might you hold for yourself? I have to because I'm the mom. Oh, this is a big one. Moms don't get a sick day. Moms don't get a sick day. Do you guys subscribe to that one? If you ever have, I can only imagine how it feels to do motherhood without allowing yourself to rest, to recover, to recharge, to take a day off. I hear it all the time. These are things that drive you further into survival mode. Illness, chronic illness, exhaustion, and like leave you missing out on the best parts of being a mom, which is that joy with your kids, that joy with your family. So, your invisible rules, you have them. We all have them. They're working against you. They're totally working against you. And the good news here is that at any point in time, you can decide to change your invisible rules. They are all rewirable, rewritable, reworkable. They can all change. But you have to first learn how to recognize them. Recognize what your patterns are that are not working for you anymore. And you guys all have patterns that you are doing that are not working for you anymore, that you think you have to keep doing. And you don't have to keep doing them. You just don't know it yet, or you don't give yourself permission yet to actually work on changing things. And that's just like the very simple truth. And I know, because I do awareness work with people, that from one day to the next, someone can give themselves zero permission to rest and relax. And the next day they can have that. They can give themselves permission to rest and relax. And suddenly they know exactly how to rework their day or their schedule or their lives or their work or their parenting to every day be able to accommodate their needs, their physical needs, emotional, mental needs. Nothing is set in stone. Nothing. That is totally an illusion. Nothing is set in stone. Everything is changeable and reworkable. that is not working for you? Everything. And it starts with how you think, and it starts with how you handle your emotions. And it really is that basic. It's not as hard as we make it out to be. Okay. And relationships that seem hard, that seem fraught, that seem, oh, I'm not the right parent for her, I don't understand this kid. Same goes. Not as hard as we think they are. Okay. So the solution really is having the system for protecting your energy, for taking really good care of you, knowing how to meet your needs, emotional, mental needs, and navigate motherhood from a place of fullness, from a place of being taken care of, from a place of having rules for you that work for you. If you want to work your face off and never rest because you're a high energy person, and you also don't want to do it at the expense of your kids, you don't want your kids to feel neglected, you can have that. You can do that. Your kids can feel loved and adored and cherished, and you can be as overachieving as you want to be. Amazing. If you're a lower energy person and you know you need more rest and nurturance, you think it's selfish, and your mom taught you it was selfish, and you feel like you're depriving your kids of something if you don't do everything they ask you to do, we can help you with that. We can rework that. We can create a system for you that is a fit for what you need and want, slowing down, more rest, more recharge time, whatever, and your kids feeling totally loved and adored. All of that can be true at the same time. We do not live in a black and white universe, and it is not either or, but your brain will tell you, your invisible rules will tell you, it's either me or them. And it's not that. You don't have to choose between caring for your kids or your family or providing for your family and taking care of you. You don't have to choose between. The answer is so different from that. It's so counterintuitive. The answer is learning to take care of you in a totally different way that then impacts them positively. That makes life easier, that saves you energy. And in tomorrow's masterclass, I'm going to be talking about one way that you can accomplish that in one of our programs, Embodied Calm. I'm going to be talking about how to embody calm for more joy and more fun this summer. I'm also still enrolling people in Awaken Motherhood. I'm still booking calls for you to see if it's a fit, for me to see if it's a fit. Those of you who went through the workshop content and you consumed it and you were like, man, this is so great, and you haven't booked your call yet, I do have calendar slots open still. Go ahead and book your call or comment here if you need me to help you find a time. That program is the, it is the like one-stop shop for everything you need in order to create calm within your nervous system and brain, and to parlay that into incredible relationships in your family. Solid, beautiful boundaries to get you out of that emotional whiplash and creating a life of so much joy and so much fun. And we help people do that every day. And so just let's find a time to chat and talk and see how I can help you. And if that program is not right for you, I will not blow smoke at you. I'll absolutely point you in the direction that I know is going to help you. That is still happening, so book your call, and that link I'll drop below as well. It's my Clarity Call link to get on my calendar. For the masterclass, you don't need to register. We're just throwing this one out there really fast. I didn't have time to build a page. You just need the Zoom link. So this is not letting me drop a Zoom link, but I will. Maybe I can do it on my laptop here if I get fancy. I will drop that link below. Oh, good, I can. Here's the Zoom link to join the masterclass tomorrow for more joy and fun this summer. And you guys, now is the time. Don't wait. Don't wait until June's over to be like, oh, I want to create the summer of my dreams. Do it now. Join me now to figure out what are the pieces, what are the ingredients that you need. Watch this. I'm getting fancy here. Yes. Okay, I think that's going to pop up. And then I will drop the call link as well after this. And I can't wait to see you guys on Masterclass. Oh, timing, it'll say in the Zoom. details, but it is at 11 Mountain. So that's 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 11 Mountain, 12 Central. Okay, so join us. Get on live. Participate with me live. It's so much more fun. You know, we think that fun summer comes from like having an amazing family vacation that we plan and poured everything into and then packed everyone. A lot of moms, I know, like pack everyone for a vacation and the car and everything. That is super exhausting. Then by the time you go on vacation, you need to rest before you can go enjoy yourself. And then you come home and it's all on you to like unload it, unpack it, decompress, and then go right back into work. What a night. That sounds like a nightmare to me. I would never want to do it that way. I feel like that's another piece of the invisible rules that people are doing. I have to manage all. I have to do it all. No one else cares. If I don't do it, no one will. And if you do that from an empowered place and you like to do it, there's no downside for you, rock on. But if it creates like exhaustion or resentment or I don't want to do it, that's not a good system. That's going to wear you down over time. And it's also going to hurt your relationship with your kids. And it's going to damage your relationship with your kids. I'm not going to lie. It just is. No kids want to be close to a mom who is bitter or resentful or who is who's irritable. That's just the truth. And if you want a great relationship with your kids, you got to resolve this thing that's happening in you. So I'm going to talk about that tomorrow in the masterclass, what that is, how to do it. And we know that like even the greatest vacation or the you know, giving your kids everything they want and ask for. You know, a lot of people sort of have this I should, you know, give my kid all the things they want and ask for. And in both of those cases, it's a dopamine hit. Basically, it's a temporary high, the vacation high or the getting my kid this new toy for summer or whatever high. And then it's over. It ends. That goes away. And we all want more of it. It leaves us wanting more and feeling not satisfied or at home in our bodies or at peace or at rest or content or deeply joyful for our lives within the normal everyday. And you guys, that's where it's at. The normal everyday. So please come and join me tomorrow. I am excited to see you in the masterclass. When you watch this replay, just tell me if you did not make it through the workshop replays and you would very much appreciate a backdoor replay page. I can make you guys one for that. Life is busy. May is busy. You guys are working hard. I will make you one for that. Just request in the comments below, backdoor replay or replays, please. If you didn't make it through all of them, because they have expired, the original page expired. And then let's get you into the masterclass tomorrow. I can't wait to see you guys there. It's going to be super fun. Get on Zoom Live with me, and I'll see you then. Okay, everybody. Have a great Thursday.